my leadership in representing the school outside of the school, which means that I represented the students' voice and their concerns when it came to communication with the STM, as well as restaurants across near campus. That being said, my involvement with the student community has extended not only to clubs, but outside of school as well. Back in high school, I founded and was president of the Beaconsfield Youth Council, where I led a team of 20 young students who voiced their concerns to the municipality, as well as I've worked with school boards across Quebec and across Montreal in order to host events that foster the individual and collective development of students in terms of diplomacy, in terms of political involvement and community engagement.
I think what sets me apart from the other candidates is that, once again, I'm not afraid to take the unconventional path. And some methods that have been used have not been effective, and so there really needs to be something different in the approach, in the way that we approach some problems. And by taking a more lighthearted attitude toward these problems, then there is no more fear of doing something different, something innovative, and something that mostly that is definitely going to be fun to try. And yeah, so I think that by working together and by having solidarity in unconventional solutions, I think that we can make some great change that has never been seen before. Thank you.
Hi guys. So what makes me qualified to be MSU president? Well, if I were to take me from a year ago, I would say I'm not qualified. Because a year ago, I had no friends, I didn't know anyone. High school was a really hard time for me. I didn't take any leadership roles either. But coming into Marianopolis, I was able to leave my comfort zone. I was able to reach out. I've become a part of so many different clubs. I've interacted with so many different people, and I believe that I can continue to improve. And one big thing that surprised me. Okay. Yeah, I'm just gonna end it there, but I really want to hear what each and every one of you have to say, and I believe in order to reach that, we as Congress need to leave the office and truly become a part of the student body. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Dr. Henry. Honestly, I am much more prepared for a job interview than I was a few minutes ago, so thank you for these lovely answers. Now, lastly, we're going to have questions for vice presidents only. So it's going to be 45-second question also. It's going to be 45-second answers also, and this time we will go from left to right. The question is, in case of a split slate victory, so essentially you're not paired with the person you ran with, which points of your platform will be non-negotiable? You have 45 seconds, and we will start with Honda.
As an independent candidate, I'm totally aware that no matter who will get elected, there's something in conflict with my platform. Therefore, I carefully design my platform, make sure that all those things are within a VP's domain. There's no overlapping between me and the president, whoever we're going to elect it. And for most importantly, for me as a VP, I always keep my promise. Whatever I say has been negotiated with the admins and the council to prevent student. And I think that's what you need for me to be elected as VP and be a coordinator with the president, whoever will be the future president.
So I'm completely aware of everyone's platform's ideas, and I think they're all great. And I really believe in my platform alone, most of my ideas are non-negotiable because I've already done most of the effort to make sure that's feasible and that it's going to allow you guys to have an easier student life. So, for example, my Marianopolis bookstore, thanks to, I already worked with another bookstore that's able to help us create this idea. And not only that, another thing I want to add is that I'm also, since we are representing innovative minds, I would always give in suggestions and more ways to improve our other candidates' ideas. Thank you.
Okay, so as our platform is based off of communication and the fact that we find all of our platform ideas are extremely important, but if it were a split slate election, the points of our platform that I would choose to keep are the ones that you, as the student body, find most important. Because when we're making our platform, we think that all of our ideas are important. What really matters is what you think.
I believe that. No, not yet.
Are you changing your position?
So the main points of our platform that we want to keep are also the ones that benefits you the most. So first of all, we have the Mary Alum database, and then we have the green initiatives, and then we have the STM card reloader, and we also want to implement the sexual violence policy because those points are crucial for the student life. And I just wanted to point out that all of the points on our platform have been worked on by both me and Aria. So even if we get splitted, we would still be working together in order to implement those things. Thank you.
So some of the points that I would definitely keep in our platform is food and creating a Zen den. Because we all know the student lounge is not really a lounge, it's more of another second cafeteria. And we want to provide comfort for you. We want to make this school really comfortable for you. Because you guys work really hard and we know you're really tired, so that's definitely something that we need to adjust. And another thing is food. So this week I approached many people and they said one of the biggest issues was how expensive the cafeteria food is. So that's another thing I would definitely keep. Thank you.
So first of all, if I were to be elected with somebody else, I would be very open-minded to other suggestions and basically make compromises. But if I had to choose from all the points in my campaign, it would definitely be mental health because you guys heard me talk about it, but it is a subject that hits close to home, and I'm sure that it also is important for all of you guys. Being students at the school is not easy. We face a lot of pressure, whether it be at home, whether it be at school because of our exams and everything, and just providing the help that the students want, whether it be by the peer support program, whether it be by more counseling, is something that I find very important and primordial, and this is something that I really cannot give up.
Thank you, everyone. Thank you, Vice Presidential candidates. I'm so sick. So, due to timing reasons, this is something I'm going to talk about right now, but due to timing reasons, we will not. Unfortunately, AP is only so long. Now, I want to say that essentially, I had planned a Q&A session right now in the middle of the debate. However, due to timing reasons, and due to the fact that indeed AP is only so long and we had set up that lasted longer, we will be squeezing all of Q&A towards the end after we have finished everything, so we will have more time for Q&A than if we were to just do one Q&A session, but we won't have the Q&A session split into two. So essentially I'll go into custom questions for each candidate, and then we'll move on to Q&A between candidates and then between you guys and the candidates. So as I said, I will have custom questions for each candidate. They are custom tailored by people. And essentially you will have 45 seconds to answer your question, and they will go at a random order. So, first question for Hima. As a candidate that may not be as widely known for student life involvement as other candidates in this room, how will you demonstrate your capabilities and representation of the student union if elected?
Okay, so the way that I've been involved is not known out there, but it's because I've been staying behind the crowd, listening to everyone, being behind the scenes, being a part of the larger committee. Now, after hearing everyone's views, everyone's opinions, as many people as I could reach, I'm going to take all that, combine it like a giant soup, and then present it to the student union, so you can all enjoy everyone's beautiful ideas together, united. And do it sometime? Yeah. Okay, and the way I haven't been involved as well is being a club exec for numerous clubs, and also going to many clubs, so I'm not just part of one thing, I'm part of many things.
Thank you. Thank you, Fahima, for that outstanding speech. I love soup. Next, we have Olivia. Being vice president is a primary liaison between clubs and Congress. However, in your slate, Louis has significantly more experience working with clubs than you. Thus, shouldn't then Lewis be running for vice president and you for president? How would the dynamic work?
Okay, so while I haven't been in as many clubs as Lewis, I think it's hard to be in as many clubs as Lewis is in, considering he's in almost every single one. I do have a lot of experience working with the Congress of my high school, and I have a lot of experience working with making sure that everyone's voices are heard and everyone agrees in the end. So, and I feel that Lewis has a lot of talent with working with other people, with getting his voice heard, and as president is the main spokesperson for the school, I find he is very suitable for that role, and that's why we decided to run as we are.
Perfect, thank you for that striking speech. Next, we will have Philip. When first announcing your campaign, you declared yourself as running unseriously. Regardless of your motive as a candidate now, has that opinion changed? And if so, how will you maintain seriousness and professionalism if elected?
Yes, of course, my opinion has changed. In fact, initially I was planning on running as a meme, but alone. However, one day Adavan was actually running with somebody else, but he kind of ditched him. So Adavan approached me and he said that, hey, if you were running seriously, I would totally be running with you. And so from that moment on, I thought that it would be a lot better for me and for him if I decided to run with him seriously than alone as a joke. So yeah, I'm definitely running seriously now. But...
Can I say something about this? Because it's yes, well, of course. So as what he said, okay, is okay. Wait, that's the thing, right? So I've known Philip for a long time, and I just believe that him being my president would be really good because he has a social presence. Now, as many of you guys know, you guys may know him as a joke, but after we've been campaigning. Okay, but the truth is that you guys, as you guys recently seen, recently you guys have seen is that we've been taking this very seriously. And we have been doing so much ideas, new ideas, and we really believe you guys should take a listen to the ideas and not judge on our.
Alright. Thank you, Ataman, and thank you, Philip, for these glamorous speeches. Next, we have Sophie. Alright, perfect, the mic is being passed. Alright. So, this year, you are mostly working in Congress, and for example, another candidate here, Ying, had a lot more chance to participate in clubs and get familiarized with executives to know what exactly clubs need from Congress. Why do you think your experience makes you a better candidate?
Well, I'm also part of Congress. I'm foremost a student of the school, and I was also part of a lot of clubs, including Merriman and such. And I think that my experience just being with other students, I was able to hear their voice. So what the advantage is, I know what happens within Congress, and I also know what happens within these clubs. So I think it makes me more of a understanding person when it comes to hearing other people's opinions, because I can know what is feasible, I can know what I can do within Congress to make the difference.
All right, perfect. Thank you for this excellent speech. As you can see, I have a list of adjectives that I can use. Next, we have Lewis. Sources have informed me that you have been quite persistently asking for endorsements from very many clubs and students, often in questionable ways that perhaps resemble flattery or bribery. What do you think of this?
Okay, so what did I do? What I did do is that I asked a lot of different clubs how they would want Congress to work next year. Now this was just to get their opinions on how they would want, because a lot of what I did do, I sent a message to over 100 club execs asking them if there was anything that they knew that they wanted Congress to do differently. I did not ask for endorsements, and it was not bribery. What I did do was how I can help them, and it was not just their club. What I was doing was
So, okay.
Thank you for this game-changing speech. That was not the best adjective. But next we have Ying. This year, you organized a talent show and you are an executive of Milo and the Programming Club. Additionally, you participate in a plethora of clubs. However, last year, Megan Couture promised not to be an executive for any club in order to be vice president. How will you be able to manage your time with all of your extracurriculars?
I think that if I get elected as vice president, for sure I will have to make some reasonable changes in my club involvement. And I will definitely not drop all the clubs, but I will be really selective in order to commit as much time as needed for the vice president position, but also to be able to be a positive and supporting leader for the other club execs, for the other clubs I want to be executive of.
Thank you very much. I've run out of adjectives and I am too scared to flip the page. Next, we have Hongda. Since you are an independent candidate, why should students vote for you and not for the slates?
That's the question. Since I'm running independently, more people think I'm a joke, as they do. But however, I'm taking this case seriously. For the vice president, I don't like the way that many people say I'm going to make a lot of stuff, but it comes out there's nothing has done. What I'm supposed to do for me as vice president is I'm a honest and trustworthy person. Whatever I say will necessarily becomes a reality. And I think that is why I will trust myself as independent delegate instead of collaborating with other presidents, because they also have a brand new idea. But for the vice president, a vice president needs to do the new things for himself, for class, and for others. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Hongda. Next, the question is directed towards Arya. So, Jerry and Lewis's current mandates pertain more to the student life. Thus, would they not be more qualified to be a president of the student union?
You are absolutely correct in the fact that Lewis and Jerry's positions do respect to student life. But I think what I do goes under the cover. And so essentially what I want to stress is that this year I drafted a legal document protecting your rights with the college, knowing that we are a separate legally accredited union. So essentially making sure that you and the clubs you're a part of get the things that you deserve as an accredited union and as a separate legal entity. So according to that, and as a definition of an accredited student union, I think that those are the fundamental policies that need to be in place in order to have students to get the most amount of representation for them. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Arya, for that charismatic speech. Next, we have a question for Mahua. Similarly to Fahima, you are not as involved in the student life, or so obviously. So what sparked your interest in running for such an important position?
When I first came to Marianopolis, I felt like a loser. I felt like I didn't have any friends. I felt like it was just such a big transition from a public high school to a private cégep. I was even surprised I even got in, to be honest. But I want to do something that will make me stand out. I want to do something to take a risk in life, because you only live once. I just wanted to make my self-esteem go high again, and I want to do that with Fahima because we have known each other for a long time, and I trust all of her qualities and her dedication to school, and she's a very talented and intelligent individual, and I think both of us together will make a great team. Thank you.
Thank you, Mahua, for that as per Hima's request. Wonderful speech. Next, my question is directed to Jerry. At the beginning of the year, you had made several promises and not every promise was fulfilled. What do you think was your biggest mistake as coordinator of external affairs, and what would you have done differently?
Thank you for your question, Ricky, but I fundamentally disagree with the statement that my promises. First of all, I promised an increase in affordability for students near campus, and I implemented the system of merit aids. which gathered 20 plus restaurant deals for the students, which is an achievement that hasn't been seen before. As for the reformation of COAC, I promised a more reliable, more responsible, and more trustworthy COAC that would serve the student body as well as unite the voice of the Anglophone CJEPs. Although there has been internal issues with other student unions that led to the delay of this, I have reformed the constitution, added bylaws, and proposed an internal reorganization of the members and positions for this effect.
Thank you, Jerry, for that enchanting speech. And lastly, we have Atalan. As you had a history of fluctuating between slate partners before this week, how prepared are you as a slate if you had just formed?
What's the last one? Wait, the one that I just formed with Philip?
Essentially.
Okay. So I just wanted to be your vice president because I wanted to create an environment, a green environment, like I said, stimulating. And I have those ideas. And I thought if I get to work with a partner and get to work as a team, it's going to allow me to be more successful and to reach more people with my ideas. And also, I want to point out that I've already done many events and that has caused people to be closer with social groups, make social groups in the school. So I really believe that I already have, I would be the best student for the vice president, and I wanted to be working with a person as a student. Just so.
Fantastic. Thank you, Atavan, for this marvelous speech. That is all for